Never seen a lame man walk, never heard a dumb man talk, never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt, never seen all the poor get fed, never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name.
Hey everybody! It is time for the Big C and Bigger T podcast.
It is.
Hey, and look, I'm here, Bigger T, ready to host this thing along with my right-hand man, my co-host. He's been through hard times, baby. He knows hard times. He may not be built like, he may have a little extra padding here and there, but
A little bit.
he has been through hard times, and he's going to end up on top with a championship belt. Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I am fantastic. We just, you take the hits, you keep rolling. That's what we do. It ain't always going to go great, but we're going to power through that. But now you did little dusty roads there.
Well, see, here's what happened, Clint.
Okay, tell me about it.
One of my buddies from my last church at Grace, I'd predicted that the dude was going to be a preacher someday. Okay, he's the same age as us, but I heard him. He spoke at a funeral one time for his brother-in-law, and I said, "Man, you're going to be a preacher one day." I've been telling him that for years. I told his wife, "Get ready, you're going to be a preacher's wife." She's like, "I ain't going to be no preacher." Anyway, he's filled in a couple of times. Since I left, they don't have a backup, or like on staff backup. Right. So he filled in Sunday, and I was watching the video because they do theirs online. I was watching the video of it, and he was talking about when you go through hard times, and he quoted Dusty Rhodes in it. He said, "If Travis is watching this, he'll get that." So immediately I texted him, and that got me on a deep dive last night of watching. There's a video, Clint, of 30 minutes of Dusty Rhodes doing mic work.
Oh no. And they had him at the WWE Performance Center, and that's what he taught. He taught the promo class. Yeah. And now I don't know, this isn't our Holy Schnikes moment of the week, but now that we're on the subject and the door's open, Vince, we didn't get to cover Vince McMahon retiring.
Yeah.
And we could talk about the circumstances and all that, and we don't want to get into that, because you know what? We're not.
We don't want to get into the.
We have. Who? We don't want to get into that. You all make your own opinion.
This isn't extra or current affair or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it is huge, because he's the guy, like him or not, he's built a dynasty. I mean, a business that's, he's the best at it. Whatever.
Literally, they went to Dallas, Texas, and took over the city for a week.
Yeah.
It is on par. I ain't gonna say it's on par with the Super Bowl, because I don't think it's up there.
You may not have had as many famous people there, and your average person going, riding a limo to the game like you do the Super Bowl. Okay. The Super Bowl gets a little, they get that, but he's doing things that we've only seen NASCAR do. Back when Jeff Gordon and all those guys were doing it big, when they're getting 150,000 to one race, what they did in Dallas, I would compare to that. And so you're right. Yeah.
They take over the city. They come in and take over the city for a solid week.
Yeah.
And it's not even just them anymore. It's all the little organizations that piggyback off of them. Like Ring of Honor will come run a show, knowing that these WWE fans that are just looking for something new will probably come buy a ticket.
Yeah.
And there's several other ones. There is a famous Japanese wrestler. His last name Suzuki, but he was literally eating breakfast in the lobby of the hotel that we were staying in.
Yeah.
And he was walking like he had been through a war. But yeah, so Vince is retired, and there's a lot of your childhood right there. But you know what? You mentioned Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes is synonymous with one man, and that is the Nature Boy.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Ric Flair.
They made a lot of money off each other, didn't they?
They have made a lot of money together. But now I don't know how. Did you know Ric Flair had his last match over the weekend?
Oh, did he really? No, I didn't know that.
At 76 years old, Ric Flair walked the aisle one last time. And it's like Mick Foley was there, Undertaker was there.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you better learn to love it.
Still, one of my favorites. When we met Ric Flair at Memphis, I think we've told that story on here before, but it's still, we're standing around before, and all these wrestlers start coming out to the payphone there, when we're meeting Steve McMichael and Conan and what was his name?
Moving to Guerrero before he was unmasked. We saw him unmasked because he just walked to the payphone.
And what was the other one that died? The Mexican wrestler that died.
Oh, there's been a few of them. Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero, yeah.
Okay, I don't remember Eddie.
Yeah, he came out, and then you're talking.
I remember Dean Malenko coming out, and you could tell his character was a real serious character.
Yeah,
and we go, "Hey, Dean," he's like, "Got a meeting."
Yeah,
he just walked off.
All of a sudden, you go, "Man, the one guy I'd like to meet is Ric Flair," and I mean, those words hadn't left your lips. And Robert goes, "Woo, Nature Boy!" And he walks right to us. Like he's not going to the payphone. He's just walking across the room to get to the other side or something. And he walks directly to us. Like, "What's up, guys?" And then we're like, I don't even get autographs normally, but I'm like taking my hat off and saying, "Here, sign this." And dude, that was so cool.
No, that was cool. But he had it was, and I don't want to sound like a wrestling dork. Of course, I tinkered with it myself, but the psychology of his match was about as good as anything anybody does on paper. And I'm not talking about he couldn't do what he used to do, and apparently he called off some spots during the match on the fly, but they did it. But man, his psychology, it made sense. Everything they did made sense.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was I watched it illegally on YouTube. I did get, I don't know if it's illegally, it was on YouTube and I watched it. But it's cut up. So I'm trying to talk myself out of am I going to prison, Travis?
Maybe so. Maybe so. Nice knowing
you. I've even admitted to stealing my brother's password and login to an app on here.
Well, it's okay, Clint, because if you go to prison, you're going to be getting your mugshot in a shirt that is epic.
This is an epic shirt.
My friend are wearing an epic shirt right now. It's a those of y'all that are listening on either Spotify or Apple Podcast.
Stop and go to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
He is wearing a kind of a Hawaiian type shirt, like a beach shirt, button up, casual shirt.
Got it unbuttoned, got a tank top underneath.
Tank top underneath it. And the tank top has the other colored pocket on it, on the chest. Because that's as handy as a shirt pocket.
Right here, I just want to put a pin in it.
And the shirt has watermelon slices. And let's see what else.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're trying to do pineapple, but it almost looks like
sliced pineapple
or something.
Maybe
has that got ice cream?
I don't think that's ice cream.
It's all fruit. Okay, it's hard to tell.
There's some flour. There's a flower and some leaves down here.
Yeah,
got a flamingo.
Yeah, it's like a fruit salad shirt. Tropical fruit salad.
Well, and I'll tell you. Well, you can tell them why I'm wearing this, Travis. Won't you? And then we'll go on some funny stories about this shirt.
Well, today I'm wearing I'm not wearing much different, to be honest with you. I'm wearing a Yankee hat and a CBGB. If you don't know what that is, it's a classic rock and roll club from New York City. So I'm representing New York City, even though I'm an Arkansas boy. I'm a Yankees fan, and I have a lot of respect for New York City for some reason. I really liked it. I only visited there once, and I really liked it, and I want to go back sometime. But our Holy Snikes moment this week, well, it's not really from this week. It's actually been a couple weeks ago, but we haven't talked about it on here. There's a new tradition that's it's not a new tradition. It's kind of been around a while. But people are thinking it through a little bit. And when the NFL players show up for training camp, Clint, some prominent players will dress up or do some kind of big intro, like a walk-up, sort of like a they're calling it their walk-up, kind of like a wrestler or a fighter,
right?
Walk up and they'll dress a certain way and have music played or whatever. Well, there was a couple really cool ones, and that's why Clint's wearing his shirt.
Yeah, because I wanted this is my walk up. Like if I was going to be walking into two-a-days, I'd walk in like this.
That's right.
Hey, I'm here in shape and I'm here to party, y'all.
That's right. I'm here because this ain't nothing. I'm here for them.
This is nothing to me. This is just I left the beach and came here. What's the big deal?
And I'm representing New York because I'm a city that never sleeps. The Yankees are number one right now. The Jeter is on taps to do things like he's hitting like no one since a roided out Barry Bonds.
Who's that? You said Jeter.
I'm sorry.
Judge.
Hey, Judge. Sorry. I've been watching The Captain this afternoon.
Yeah. Okay.
I was watching the Captain documentary, so that's why I said Jeter. But Judge is killing it right now. He's crushing the ball. He's got 42 home runs, something like that. And so, and the Yankees are all about business. You know, they just signed our boy Benintendi, former Hog. You know, you go there, you don't have this ugly beard like I got. You know, you go there and you're about business, and that's what I would walk in saying, I'm about that business, and that business is winning 27 rings. That's how many the Yankees have won. 27. Now, but Clint, some prominent football players had some interesting walk-ups, and I want to get your responses to them. Okay, there's two of them, and I'm kind of stealing this from the Pat McAfee show because they really talked about this, and but I thought it was hilarious, and I thought these were some interesting walk-ups. The first one is Russell Wilson, left Seattle, comes to Denver. He drives up in I'm talking redneck, pimped out truck, jacked up, running lights. I'm talking 4-wheel drive, almost not quite a monster truck, but luxurious, you know, and he's, you know, I mean, a nice truck. He drives up in it, gets out, and he's wearing his own Broncos jersey.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So what you're basically saying is he's one of these guys that went to the oil field that made a lot of money. Was like, I want that big truck right there. That's what he was like. I want that one. No lift is too big. No lift is too small.
That's right. I want that truck, and I want it exactly like this. And he pulls out a picture of somebody else, but I want it better.
I want it like this. I want it like this. I want the wheels sticking out. I want it to look like me after lat day. Like I can't walk through the door. Okay. No, that's pretty good. Wearing your own jersey.
Now, but here's the best one.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I know that. No, this one I know. And I love it because they've talked all about it.
All right. Aaron Rodgers, always the center of controversy because he either talks too much or not enough or something, right? And the Green Bay doesn't treat him right. They don't draft receivers for him. They let his best receiver go. He's what's his name's with the Raiders now.
Uses a draft tick to draft your replacement when you really could use help.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff, right? He shows up in full Cameron Poe, Con Air, Nicolas Cage character, in tight blue jeans, a wife beater,
hair slicked back.
He's got that long hair right now. His hair is slicked back. And Clint, not just that, okay? As he's walking in, he gets out of his vehicle and he has a black backpack in his hand. And as he's walking into the building, he drops the backpack before he goes into the building. Okay. So what is your interpretation? Because I think with Russell Wilson, was just trying to say, look, how baller is it that I'm showing up with a cool truck and I'm showing up with
He's trying to say, like, hey, Colorado, I'm a part of you now.
That's right. Yeah. I'm one of you guys.
Like, hey, I can get around the ice. I can get around this.
That's
Don't
right.
worry. You be ones here.
I'm not some liberal Seattle coffee snub, where I'm driving a Prius now.
Right. Yeah.
This thing's a gas guzzler. I'm in the mountains and I'm your quarterback. I'm Denver. Okay. It was obvious what he was saying.
Right.
I'm a Denver guy.
He was trying to ingratiate himself to the town.
Yeah.
Well, and
Rodgers, on the other hand, I think was trying to say something with his.
Okay, one of two things, and I kind of agree with McAfee. Like, was he like leaving the baggage behind him, or was he saying, I don't know. I mean, he could have just been being goofy.
Yeah,
like he could have just filled the bag up and been like, just fill the bag.
Yeah,
and dropped it off there. Like, y'all read into it what you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could have been seeing if the bomb team was doing their job. I don't know what he's doing. I don't have a clue. What do you think, Travis?
Okay, I'm going to go full entertainment tonight on this.
You go right on ahead. I'm going to sit here. I'm
going to go full National Enquirer, TMZ, whoever, just, grocery store, tabloid gossip rag right here. You ready? Here's what I think he was saying. I think with the luggage he was saying, or what he's saying by being Cameron Poe, I think he was saying, I'm going to ride this plane until it falls out of the sky. I don't care who you put on it and who I have to ride it with. I'm going to take care of the ones on here that I do care about. And I don't care who you throw on it with me. I'm still the guy on this plane. I'm going to ride it till it falls into the Las Vegas Strip and it's over. Okay. I'm going to ride this plane. Don't matter who you put me on here with. Stay out of my way. And then I think he's dropping the bag because he's saying, I'm leaving it all out here. I'm going in here to go to work.
That is it, Travis. At no point in your incoherent babbling did you come close to anything resembling a rational thought. Everyone listening to this podcast is now dumber for having heard it. I award you no points.
Oh, yeah.
And may God have mercy on yourself.
Thank you.
So
that's seriously. He's a thinker.
He is a thinker, and he does everything for. Maybe he's like I was
stringing
doing the right thing and coming back for another year, and you guys put me in prison.
Yeah,
and I'm in with a bunch of crappy players. I'm stuck. I'm like Nicholas. By the way, and one of the things we did talking about on the podcast, I don't know we talked. because I remember I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about good night John Travolta movies, I think, and then he brought up Face Off. He's like, and Brendan Schaub's over there going, like, Face Off's a good movie. Yeah. Face Off is a good movie. So I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not.
Yeah.
I went and watched. I went and watched. And by the way, this review of Face Off is brought to you by the good folks at Hometown Roofing.
That's right.
There's your plug, Robert.
Shingles, lumber, gutters and such.
Gutters.
Hometown Roofing.
Turbines.
I think
it's the thing that goes.
Vents.
So anyway, where was it? Oh, Brandon Shaw talking about Face Off. So he's like, Face Off's a good movie. And it was still on Netflix. So you know what I did after they did that? I'm like, I went and watched it.
Yep.
I went back and I watched Face Off.
That's what you should.
And it was like, it was like there was a you can go, you see like those, you hear about those sets where like everyone's trying to one up each other.
Yeah.
It's like John Travolta's like, I can overact. And Nick Clay's like, no, I'm going to show you. That's like right. They have like a really great dramatic actress playing John Travolta's wife.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to overact too. It's like they just all gave up and like, we're just going to try to overact each other.
Yeah.
It was I loved it when I first saw it a long time ago. It is not aged well. It is a steaming pile of crap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to get that out.
That's right.
I think the movie Face Off is a steaming pile of crap.
Okay. Well, and I tend to agree with. Well, I mean, I've only watched it when it first came out. I thought it was pretty good, but I just remember thinking the whole concept of it was just so far-fetched. Trading faces.
Well, and they're not even the same height. Yeah. They had lasers to like take off his love handles. How did Nicolas Cage just get his face swapped off and get John Travolta's love handles?
That's right, yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, look, if you took my face and put it on somebody else's and they came in and crawled in bed with Anna, and I think Anna would notice.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be like, Clint, your body's totally different, but your face is the same. So I guess it's you. I guess it's you. I mean, what?
That's so funny. We could try that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get them like a cheap mask. Mason gets made like
they even notice. Easy, like cardboard masks. They used to have like a Reagan and some of them back in the day, you know. Anyway,
I could take an extra week vacation if the guy does a good enough job.
That's right. Yeah.
I'd be at a beach somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to work for me, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, Clint, let's talk a little Razorback stuff. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Do we do that around here? Well, we've been having guests every week now.
I know we've had some great guests, but let's talk some Razorbacks because there's been some news come out. First of all, I want to look at the basketball team. Just real quick, there was a press conference the other day. You may have, and I don't think you saw it. I think we talked about it earlier, but those listening, you may have heard it. They talked about the athleticism on this team and how athletic, of course, this team is, because this team, and by all accounts, is supremely athletic. Okay. I mean, it's by far, it's just being talked about as being one of the most athletic teams we've ever seen. Right. I mean, it's, you got guys that, like, Anthony Black and Nick Davis and Brazel that came from, the Twins from Rhode Island are athletic. I mean, everyone is long-armed, tall, and athletic. Okay. It's just crazy. Well, they were asked about the athleticism, and the guys said, especially Ricky Council. Okay. Now looking up, Clint, you can look it up real quick. Where did Ricky Council come from?
Oh, Wichita State.
Wichita State. That's right.
I don't need to look it up. I'm a cesspool of useless information. Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't remember that for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, Ricky Council comes in from Wichita State, and he's about a 6'4", 6'5" guy. So he's not the tallest. He's not a Walsh, who's tall.
6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, athletic. But Nick Smith said this. He said, I thought I was athletic. Now, this is a guy, Clint, that is like the number one college player.
Yeah. The number one. Yeah. The number one.
He just got another award this week for being one of the best college players in the country. Okay. Like he's gotten all kinds of awards for being the best or one of the best out there. Anthony Black is sitting there too. Brazel from the transfer from Missouri is sitting there at this press conference talking about this also. Brazel's 6'9", known for his athleticism. He can shoot outside. He can get down low and block shots, whatever. Anthony Black's 6'7", 6'8", point guard, athletic dude, right? And Nick Smith is sitting there saying, I thought I was athletic till I met Ricky Council. He said he can just be walking underneath the basket and jump up and do an under the leg dunk. Just take the ball under his leg and dunk it. He doesn't have to run to get started. He said it's going to be crazy watching. He said it's going to be a problem for defenses to guard him. When I hear that, Clint, and then there's been videos coming out of some of these guys.
I've seen a lot of the Instagram videos, stuff like that. Now I don't know the numbers. I mean, I don't recognize some of the players, but I'm seeing some like explosiveness. And you know what? I think where Musselman likes, and I think it's where the game's going now, is positionless basketball.
Yeah. I
mean, I think you could see 5, 6, 7 guys out there, 5, 6, 6 guys. I mean, I don't think you're going to, I think gone are the days where you have to have, all right, we got to have a 7-footer. We need a point guard. It's going to be like, I think the difference between the 1 and the 4 has gone like away.
I agree. And the thing is, used to you'd have a big guy down low, a shot blocker. Every team needed a Derek Hood, a Nicky Davis, an Oliver Miller, Joe Klein, a guy that's a stopper in the middle. Jalen Williams wasn't really that because he wasn't much of a shot blocker, but he would take those charges.
Right.
So he did the same thing, but through taking those charges. This team are shot blockers from point guard down.
Yeah.
Your point guard is Anthony Black is a good shot blocker. Nick Smith is a good shot blocker. Jordan Walsh down low is a good shot blocker. The twins from Rhode Island are good shot blockers. Ricky Council is a good shot blocker.
And this team is this is the deepest team. This may be the deepest Arkansas team in the history.
Yeah, by far.
And I'm going back because Nolan would run 10 players.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino, he's not Arkansas coach, but at Kentucky, he would run a bunch of players. This team can do that. I think, and that's what he's going to have to figure out is, do I want to run 8, 9 guys, or do I want to keep it like I've kept it with 7 guys? Because, how are you going to look over? Because you got the twins, you got 3 5-stars, you got Devo Davis, and and then you got a bunch of other transfers. Who are you going to keep on the bench?
Well, and part of it with Nolan, he would run 10 players, but he would put faith in some guys that probably most coaches wouldn't put faith in. Elmer Martin probably didn't play a lot of minutes if he goes to another school.
Yeah.
But at Arkansas, he played a lot of minutes because no one was playing 10 players and he needed some more big guys to get in there and run. And so Elmer Martin got in there a whole lot.
Well, what was it? Ken Biley, he started the national championship game?
And Ken Biley got some playing time throughout the year as a walk-on, you know. I mean, as well, he may have been on scholarship by then. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah. So Nolan put faith in guys and put them in situations saying, I'm going to trust you, but it's okay if I put a subpar player, because I'm going to be rotating people in so much that I'm going to wear out that other team. They're not going to be able to keep up with my guys. Okay. Musselman is facing a problem with such a deep team. They're all freaking talented, man. Yeah. It ain't just who else can I plug in so I can get to that rotation. He may have to do that rotation because he's got that many solid players. He can't tell them, I can sit you today because you're a freaking stud. You're good. You know,
I mean, what are you going to, I mean, because you got, you know, for example, I mean, no one's talking about Joseph Pinion.
Yeah.
At all. From Morrilton, 4-star, top 100 player, can shoot the lights out of the place.
Yeah.
We're not talking about him. We're not talking about Darian Ford, who me and you both think is going to be a phenomenal basketball player for the University of Arkansas. We're not talking about these guys. I mean, do you keep them on the bench and let them transfer, or do you try to find them minutes? You know, now the good thing is, I think you're going to be this team is so talented that your North Dakota States, your Tulsas, your Oral Roberts, your schools like that you normally play, that you're like, come to Bud Walton, get you a check. And like we would barely beat them. I think you're going to run those teams out the gym this year.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. And I think that's going to provide more time. Now, the thing is I know we're going to get to it. They've released some of the off-season games, including the Maui Invitational.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go ahead and tell them who the first round game is against in the Maui Invitational?
Let me look that up real quick.
It's Louisville.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's Louisville. I figured you had the entire bracket like printed off.
No, I didn't get a chance to print.
But the question is, when they play Louisville, when they go to Mississippi State, when they play Baylor, when they play Oklahoma, what does that rotation look like?
Yeah.
Then what does that rotation look like? Who is it going to be? And
like you said, Pinion's going to be a hard guy to keep on the bench because you're going to need his shooting, I think.
Well, because last year you didn't have a guy that you can count on that was just, if he's open, it's dead eye.
Yeah.
I mean, JD Nolte was streakier than my underwear. I'm joking. There you go. I'm sorry, is that out loud? Can you cut that out? No, not joking. But no, Nolte, he got to be where he's a volume shooter. You needed a guy like that.
Yeah.
You needed a Pat Bradley, a Cannon Whitby, one of those guys that can just, Al Dillard, one of those guys that can just, he's going to hit it. Yeah. If he's open, he's going to hit it. And they didn't have that.
Yeah.
And I think Pinion's going to give them that.
Well, and in the Maui Invitational, man, as you said, we're going to play Louisville first game. These are all going to be on ESPN, either ESPN2 or ESPNU. But also in that tournament is Texas Tech is playing Creighton first round. Ohio State,
not as good at mid-major as there is.
Yeah. Ohio State playing San Diego State. And Cincinnati playing Arizona. That's a good tournament, man. That's some good teams.
It is. I would say we're definitely in the top 3 of that tournament, just here in the field. The problem is, I think Louisville may be the number in the top 3 as well.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's going to be fun, Clint. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
It's going to be a fun ride, and I can't wait to take it. And I'm just so curious to see what this team ends up looking like.
Yeah.
And we didn't even was it Barry Dunning, the 4-star out of Alabama, Mr. Basketball Alabama?
Yeah.
We're not talking about him either. And now the good news is they are getting a chance of a lifetime right off the bat. Like their first playing experiences against another team is whether they're going to be Italy,
Spain. Yeah.
Italy, Spain, they're going to Europe. They're going to they got 4 games in Europe.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Oh yeah.
They're going to go play against these foreign pro teams, and they're going to have. I mean,
that's going to be a great bonding time for them. You know, because they're going to be on the plane together, all that kind of stuff. And so that's going to be just an awesome time. I can't wait to see them going there.
I tell you what, but if you're a Pat Bradley type guy who's just a great, just spot up shooter, one of them guys that you can sit there at the 3, if you're open, you're going to make it all day.
Yeah.
Like just the legend. Could you imagine playing with this team with their driving ability? That's what I'm saying. And I haven't thought about it until now. Like a guy like Joseph Pinion, they can just knock down them threes whenever they slash. He could become invaluable.
Oh yeah.
Arkansas loves an Arkansas boy that can shoot a basketball.
That's right. That's right for sure.
So
Clint, here's the other thing. Basketball, man, I'm excited about it. We'll see what it does. We'll see what these athletics. The other thing we didn't talk about, but I'll just say it real quick. Hearing great things out of Devo Davis being a leader, stepping up as a leader, that he's really stepped up. And some of that they say is because his relationship with Nick Smith, that they're such good friends that that's a big bonding thing. I know Hogs Sports has an article about that.
He's been there, done that guy now.
Yeah.
I think really last year they wanted him to take that leadership, bro. Mm-hmm. I think they really did. Everybody wanted to see Devo take it. I think Jay Will took it because you've got it. You kind of earned that spot. Yeah. And now I think he's the most battle tested guy there, and he's earned that spot. And I think he's being a lot quieter on Instagram and stuff. I've noticed. Like last year, he was really showing off his workouts. Yeah. This year, it's been more like quiet, grinding.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, Clint. It's August.
That's it.
We made
it. It's kicking off, y'all.
The high schools are practicing. The Razorbacks are reporting, I believe, on Friday for their first practice. It is on, man. NFL training camps are going. We're about to have preseason NFL games coming up soon. Look. It is on. It is on. Football is here, Clint. What we've been waiting for. Football, the greatest sport. I love basketball. I love baseball. But there's just something about football, and there's something about college football. It is here. And there's something about college football when the Razorbacks are promising. Now, we're going to talk more. We're going to do some previews. We're going to have a special guest here, hopefully in a couple of weeks, to help us do some football preview show, and it'll be one of the biggest podcasts ever, by the way. But I want to talk a little bit today, Clint, just to kind of wet our whistle a little bit. Okay, Let's talk about what we've lost from last year, what we've lost, and how we see that the staff is putting something together to replace those losses.
And I love. Let's start off on the offensive side of the ball. Okay. And I don't want to start off. Everybody thinks we're going Treylon Burks. I'm not.
That's right.
We're going Myron Cunningham. And not only have you lost and here's the thing. Last year they had a plan. Like when one person goes down, the first guy up is Ty Clary. Yeah. He was the sixth offensive lineman. It didn't matter if Cunningham went down, Latham, Stromberg, Clinton, or Wagner went down. Did you like that? I named all 5 offensive linemen.
Way to go.
I'm once again cesspool of useless information, folks. But you had your 5 established offensive linemen, and you knew that those 5 guys were going to be in there, and that if one of them went down, then it was going to be Ty Clary. Ty Clary's gone. Yeah. He's not the 6th man anymore. And then Myron Cunningham also graduated. I don't think he got drafted, but I do think he signed a free agent contract. So
Clary's at the Giants, by the way.
Yeah.
I was watching.
So, I mean, both them guys are getting at least an NFL look, It's something to just be in training camp. So the left tackle position intrigues me because that's a big position. That's a big hole because bigger than everybody's like, oh, well, we got Sam Pittman. I trust Sam Pittman, and Cody Kennedy's probably he may become Sam Pittman 2.0. Who knows? That's his handpicked guy.
Yeah.
And the offensive line looked great.
Yeah.
That last year was the best offensive line in look since Sam Pittman left. So my personal opinion. So Luke Jones, I think they're liking him at left tackle. Now Wagner's very often injured. And so Tycharius Crawford, and I may be butchering his first name. He's a transfer from Charlotte. Tychise.
Yeah.
Okay. Tychise Crawford. So he's going to start playing a lot at right tackle. So they think that's going to be the guy, that he may end up being the guy over there. So that's going to be a fun battle to me. I think he went to Charlotte and then transferred to Arkansas, but he looked hard at Arkansas, and then he's like, man, I think he went and goes, I'm a little bit too good for Charlotte.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when he's like, okay, SEC. Because
I think Clint, in the spring, Luke Jones was who they had at left tackle the whole time. But I think Luke Jones ends up being your Ty Clary. He can play any position on the line. He's going to end up being your first guy in. And I agree with you. I think Tychise Crawford I think the coaches think Tychise Crawford ends up at that left tackle position. And Dalton Wagner ends up at right tackle when he comes back from injury.
Well, that's not
you're right. That's a huge position. And but I think we're in capable hands there. I like either one of those two. Luke Jones, played up at Notre Dame for a year before he comes here. And he's got a lot of snaps under his belt. He's cross-trained at different positions. He's played center. He's played everything else. Okay. And those guys are usually good guys to have out there a lot of times. And if he ends up settling in at that left tackle, I'm happy. But I think Crawford, from all accounts, looks the part. He looks like an SEC left tackle. He looks like a guy that Alabama or Georgia would put out there at left tackle. And so I think that's why a lot of people think he's going to end up being it.
No, and I agree with you. I think he will start at one of the tackles. And I could see him starting at right tackle if Wagner's hurt. Now, Wagner's got a history of back issues. But he's a starter for a reason. And trust me, it's like Steve Mullen said on this podcast a few weeks ago. He goes, they're not, because I think a lot of people think that maybe Wagner's the worst of their starters. He's out there for a reason. He earned that spot. Sam Pittman ain't playing him because he likes his hair.
Yeah.
Sam Pittman's playing because he's the best right tackle.
Yeah.
And I think if he's healthy, that's your guy at right tackle. Especially he came back.
Yeah.
He could have went to the NFL. He could have went to WWE.
Yeah.
He could have done that, but no, he came back. He refused to walk on senior day saying, told you I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, I agree with you. I think and I agree with you. I think Crawford, if Wagner for some reason can't play, I think Crawford does stay at right tackle. Because I think what they're worried about him is the footwork over at left tackle. And just him getting all the footwork right. I think that's why Luke Jones has been over there right now, because he's just got better footwork. That's usually why.
And you got Jalen St. John too, who's sitting there. I think they'd like him more in the interior, but I mean, they've got some guys that are, that they like. And it's nice because you know what you need on the offensive line, Big T.
What's that?
Depth.
That's right.
And it hasn't been. I mean, 4 years ago we couldn't sit here and talk about the depth on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, you just couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think, a high 5-star true freshman offensive lineman, and there's a bunch of good ones out there, could come in and start right now at Arkansas.
Yeah.
On the offensive line. And that hasn't always been the case.
Yeah.
Now,
okay. The next position, let's stay on offense, but let's not go to the obvious either. We lost Kern.
We did lose Kern.
And that guy was a huge asset for that offense. He made, he caught a lot of, caught some passes, not as many as we'd like probably. But, he did catch some, some screens and some, some short passes here and there. And as a blocker, he was so valuable. And now one of our favorites and one of my favorites personally is Trey Knox. I've been impressed with Trey Knox is blocking. Trey Knox has great hands when he's blocking. And now he's added some weight. So he's up, up close to 250. So he's added some strength. I think Trey Knox, and we already know he's a good receiver. So I think Trey Knox is going to be, is going to be a weapon.
And you got to hope. I mean, we've been hoping to see Hudson Henry break out for you.
Exactly.
Because he hasn't. He's not stayed on. We just had Dax Courtney retire medically from football.
Yeah.
We recruited him at tight end. They had Levi Draper, who was a linebacker at Oklahoma that we recruited, and he transferred in from Oklahoma, and he never can stay healthy. He's in the tight end room. Could he be that guy that takes them Kern reps? I mean, I think everyone's looking at it. Obviously, Trey Knox is the guy at tight end.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a question. We can talk about other things. If we have to go to one of these other guys, it's called plan A, ain't going right with Trey Knox.
Yeah.
I think Trey Knox is plan A, B, and C at tight end.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he is, but I do we need Henry to step up. We need him to toughen up. We need him to be the blocker he needs to be. And we need him to catch tough passes. Because just quite frankly, I love the Henry family. They have played some wonderful downs of football for the Razorbacks. But he has not shown the toughness that his brothers and his dad has shown.
No, and this is his fourth year. This would be his senior year if he had not redshirted. So
this is the time when you go all out. This is the time when you leave nothing, when you Aaron Rodgers and leave the backpack outside the building, the luggage, leave it be, because you got to get out there and perform, buddy. We need you. Yeah. Now, of course, on offense, Clint, in that bowl game against Penn State,
you missed some Treylon Burks, didn't you?
The passing game didn't look all that great. Now, we ran for a lot of yards, but that passing game struggled, baby. Warren Thompson didn't really,
Yeah.
And two of the guys that did catch passes, Morris and Warren, are gone.
They are.
They graduated. So, first of all, the first guy that's been there, or two guys that's been there that you got to look at is Thompson and Keytron Jackson. Are they going to step up and live up?
That was a big thing last year because a lot of people felt like Keytron Jackson was the second best receiver on the team last year.
Yeah.
Going into camp. And I would probably say that, Thompson and Tyson Morris both had better years than him.
Yeah.
As far as catching the ball.
Yeah.
I really think, and this is my 2 cents, and I have no insider information, but the way that Pittman talked at the press conference, wide receiver number one, if you had to tell me who their go-to wide receiver is right now, it'd be this kid that transferred from Toledo. Landers, because he mentions him, he keeps talking about him. And I think you're going to see big things from Hazelwood. Now, the big thing to me is, can the combination of Landers and Hazelwood take over for Burks?
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
And that goes to K. Now then you're back to KJ. Him and Burks just had a connection. Can he develop that And can he read? Like, okay, Landers isn't open, Hazelwood. And how quickly can he go through his progressions?
Yeah.
The big thing is, because with KJ's replacing his left tackle, which is a big deal. And Kern, he didn't really throw to Kern. Kern was more of a blocker. I think you can put another offer. You can do a heavy set with Clary and get what you got out of Kern. My 2 cents. So I don't think you're gonna miss Kern, and I think, but now he's got to develop the chemistry with the left tackle and them. And I think it's a bigger deal, and I think he can do it. I think KJ is one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Well, and I agree with you. I think you're making a good point with the way Pittman's talking about the receivers, because every time they talked about at SEC Media Days about replacing Treylon Burks, he said Hazelwood first. But Landers was quick to bring him up, and people weren't even asking about him. They were asking about Hazelwood.
Yeah.
And I think Pittman saw something in Landers way back when he was at Georgia that makes him think that as a senior, he's going to get something out of him now at Arkansas. At Georgia, he didn't do much. He went to Toledo, did better, but against, of course, not as good a competition. But by all counts, he's an athlete. He's got great size. I think you're going to see something from him. I think that
the last transfer we got out of a MAC school from Ohio went pretty good for us.
Who was that?
Michael Turner. Michael Turner from Kent State.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, we're talking totally different sports, but I'm just saying it worked out for us.
Yeah, that's right.
It worked out for us.
I'll tell you too, Clint. I think someone else that is going to make up for Burks is Malik Hornsby.
Yes, we didn't even mention him.
I'm gonna talk more, but he's gonna be one of my players to watch this year later on. But watch out for Malik Hornsby. Just watch out. Yeah. We could be talking about him in a totally different way by the end of this season.
No, I think they had when he hit the portal, they had to go, look, here's our plan how to use you. And it had to be good for him to go, okay, all right. Yeah. I ain't QB1, but this is going to work. Now the defensive side of the ball, obviously, I think when you look at the linebackers, let's get the easy one out of the way. I think it's a clear, because he had the three-man rotation.
Yeah.
A Bumper, Grant, Henry. It wasn't any. So Bumper's back. Now the other one we got the transfer Drew Sanders in, and Chris Paul, I believe, he goes by Pooh. So you got him in, and I think the writing was on the wall. That's why you saw who was the linebacker that transferred? Andrew Parker. He'd been there forever, transferred, I believe, to Appalachian State.
Yeah.
So I really think the writing was on. I think they got the 3-man rotation down there. I think it's going to be Paul, Sanders, and Bumper.
Yeah.
And with Sanders' speed, I do think you're going to get a little bit more, because I think they will blitz him more.
Yeah.
And he will get there. But the big deal is, to me, is the defensive line. We've lost a lot.
Well, one thing on the linebackers real quick, though, just
go ahead,
is not just those 3, but there's guys behind them, especially some young freshmen. I'm not gonna name them all right now, mainly because I can't name them all. But there's depth there.
There is.
There's depth, and the depth is good depth. It's not. Look, as much as we all loved Hayden Henry, look, we didn't know he was going to be what he was last year. We never would have thought he would have played more time than Bumper Pool before the season started.
No.
We knew he was good. We didn't know he was as good as what he ended up being last year, right? Yeah. A lot of it was because he was undersized, not the fastest guy, all those kind of things. We got guys that have the talent that are on that depth chart now at linebacker. They got the size, they got the strength, they got the speed. if they can convert it to making plays just at a, close percentage to what Morgan and Henry did, we're going to be okay.
See, part of the reason that Morgan, Henry, and Poole had such good numbers was if you watch, I watched a Kansas football game. Why? Because I'm a glutton for punishment. But you could watch their linebackers and the trash that they had to go through to get to somebody. The defensive line's getting pushed back. They're having to fight their way through this traffic. Their defensive line could not eat the blocks. Their offensive line was able to get to the second level. Maybe chip, get up to the linebacker. They ate blocks. Who's going to replace John Ridgway?
Yeah.
Who's going to replace Williams? Who's going to replace Utsey? Like Utsey probably had the least sexy numbers of all the defensive linemen.
He had a great,
but that man can eat some blocks.
Yeah.
He was getting double teamed every play. And when you play a three down front, who's going to eat the blocks? Now, I do think with the transfer, they got Landon Jackson and they got the kid from Georgia Tech. I'm brain farting on his name. I think they got those two and they think we got our edge rushers here. Isaiah Nichols played a lot of football. John Ridgway was hurt quite a bit and Nichols. But if you look at the depth on the defensive line, now I haven't Googled the roster and all that. And haven't looked at the roster in a while. The defensive line is big.
Well, a couple of names I want to throw out there.
You go right on ahead.
A defensive tackle. You said Isaiah Nichols. He's going to be one of the main, he's going to be a leader of that group. But the other guy that I know Trey Biddy has been high on and saying, hey, watch this guy, is Cameron Ball.
I've heard of
Cameron Ball.
Defensive tackle from Georgia, right?
6'5", 313. Okay. And they say he looks very good. Okay. And that he's going to get a lot of playing time and that he has a chance to be something special if he can stay consistent. The other one that we haven't really talked a lot about, but a guy that's from down here in South Arkansas that I got to see play in high school a little bit, and he's got some experience. He transferred from Arkansas State, but Terry Hampton. Yeah. One thing that we don't talk about a lot, mainly because they didn't have a very good year last year. And Hampton may have got hurt last year. I can't remember, but Terry Hampton was a beast for Arkansas State. No. Like the other team, when they got out there against Arkansas State, they had to worry, where's Terry Hampton? Because that guy was controlling games at defensive line. And I think, now, of course, that's against much different talent. That's not against SEC defensive linemen.
No.
But if he can or offensive lineman, but if he can figure it out, Terry Hampton's going to be a name that could very well help this team a lot this year.
Well, Arkansas State did not play lesser competition than Illinois State.
That's true.
And I'm saying John Ridgway transitioned pretty well. Because if you can play ball, you can play ball.
That's right.
And I think so.
Now Hampton doesn't have the mass that Ridgway was. Okay. Hampton's 6'1", 295. I'm sure maybe they put a little weight on him since then. That was when he transferred in, that was his weight. But still, he's a guy that we could see in there. He's a guy with experience. He's an older guy, and he's an Arkansas guy. Okay, so he's going to be playing with some pride.
Well, they could be playing a lot of nickel with a 4-down front, with a 4-man front.
Yeah,
who knows? Because I think they went to that defense that Odom ran out of necessity.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do, because I don't think they had the horse. He knew he didn't have the horses up front to do it. That was his best way to stop somebody. Now, I'm also, so I'm excited to see, because I think what you're seeing Pittman do is build depth. I mean, he's building a roster. Like, I don't think Malima built this good of a roster. I know Morris didn't build this good of a roster. Well, if he did, he couldn't hold on to it. I think his team has more depth than Petrino's team. I really do. I think this team is deeper than the Petrino team.
Yeah.
This is the most depth I think Arkansas has ever had. because I think we're all Arkansas fans. We're all shell shocked. Yeah. Like, okay, I'm just waiting on the other shoe to drop. Why? How are we going to build on a 9-4 season? Might as well get ready to go 6-6. No, because they have built quality depth.
Yeah,
at every position.
Yeah,
and so that leaves us with the secondary. Now we lost Monteric Brown to the NFL. He was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then you had your team captain Fauché transferred to LSU. Greg Brooks also transfers to LSU. But no, we did get a cornerback from LSU, and we also got one of the defensive ends from LSU. So I think hopefully by the time it's said and done, we got the better end of that trade.
Well, we got Dwight McGlothern is the corner, and he's 6'2", 182. And there's a lot of people talking good about him, saying he's a good shutdown corner, which was something we needed. We needed that, like you said, because we lost Monteric Brown. We do have some freshmen coming in that will help replace Brown that they think they'll get to play early. There's some depth there, but McGlothern is, man, I've just heard nothing but good stuff about him. He's a talented player. And then we got at safety.
I'm excited about safety.
Latavius Brini, 6'2", 211 from transferred from Georgia.
Keep in mind
guys that played some time at both of those schools. Yeah, that contributed.
No, you haven't. And man, just think about this. Looking at last year, it sucks that Jalen Catalon went down.
Yeah.
But how much experience did Miles Slusher get?
Yep.
So and you literally
Johnson, Jaden Johnson's going to be, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to get a lot of, going to be counted on a lot. Malik Chavis, there's
you got Hudson Clark back.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not even, and he may end up being starter. We don't talk about him a lot.
But he's one of them guys you just blink and he's just making plays. He does his job. I mean, it's so hard to play defensive back these days. And you're going to get posterized eventually.
Yeah.
But it just, he walked on.
Yeah.
He just because he wanted to be a Razorback.
Yeah. And
so I think he appreciates it.
And I think what we're trying to say here on all this, Clint, and we hadn't really talked about, we lost Jordan Silver, our deep snapper, but we recruited and gave a scholarship to a deep snapper. Yeah. We have 2 scholarship quarterbacks, and we have 2 scholarship punters and a scholarship deep snapper on the team.
Yeah. Well,
that's a weird.
That's deceptive because our third and fourth quarterback both have Division I starting experience.
Yeah.
And they may be walk-ons, but
no,
obviously if Fortner, if he's in the game, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And hopefully he doesn't get to the point where he needs Cade Renfro. But and hopefully he's healed from his ACL surgery. But I think all that being said, just 2 scholarship quarterbacks is a little deceptive. And if it gets, who else we didn't mention is Landon Rodgers over there in that tight end room too.
Well, and he's now he may play some receiver too.
Yeah,
he's playing
tight end. Yeah, so it's exciting. I think these position battles that are going into camp.
To be honest with you, him at tight end, him at receiver makes me worried because I think he's at receiver because he's not putting on weight. Because what I've seen him listing at right now, I'm looking at the official Arkansas Razorback roster or whatever, and let's see, he's listed as. Let me look. Well, I can't find him. Well, last I saw, he was at 214.
Yeah.
So, which is not where you want your. Oh wow, never mind. 201.
Yeah.
And they got him at wide receiver on here.
Hey, Landon, call us.
That's right. We can help you out, dude.
We'll buck you up.
That's right. Come hang out with me a little bit, dude. I got you.
So, guys, I want to thank Hometown Roofing and our good friend Robert Branscombe.
That's right. Gotta love some Hometown Roofing.
Yeah, did buy some meal this week, so we do appreciate it. He's like, man, you guys mad at me? You ain't talked about me in a while. But we've had a lot of special guests.
Yeah, we still love Hometown Roofing. We know who butters our bread. We know who buys us the biscuits or the devil on a horseback appetizer from Walk-Ons. Grilled this time, by the way.
Yeah, grilled, which was fantastic.
Try them grilled.
Travis, I think Walk-Ons needs to sponsor us because I was a walk-on.
Yeah, they need to sponsor us. Come on, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Holla at you, boy.
We'll give you a sticker.
I got mine right there.
Sticker. Anybody wants a sticker, holler at us. We got stickers.
We got stickers.
You want a sticker, we'll give you one. We got stickers.
Stickers.
And hey, if you would like a Big C, Bigger T t-shirt, we're gonna order some t-shirts. It's gonna have this logo, probably just in one color.
Because we're cheap.
On the front. And then it's gonna have Holy Shnikes, What a Podcast on the back to kind of play off the whole Holy Shnikes thing. So if you would like a t-shirt, start sending us messages, letting us know, and we will let you know how much they'll be and all that. And because we're going to do a pre-order here in, a week or two, and we'd like to be able to know some of the sizes we need, and then we'll order some other ones, and we'll have ways you can get them. But we want to, we just think it's cool. I mean, hey, we got a cool logo, man.
That is a cool logo. That guy did a good job.
Good looking fellas right there, aren't they? Even though I'd never wear a red sweater, but that's all right. We got a cool logo.
Dead in a V-neck.
And we got some of y'all that are diehards, and so we know you'd wear the shirt, and that's advertising. Every time you wear it, you'd be a walking billboard, and people would say, "Holy Shnikes, what podcast is that?" And you can turn around and say, "It's the Big C, Big T podcast, y'all."
Look at these good-looking guys.
So, and you can tell them, say, "Look, Paul Feinbaum enjoys this podcast. It's real." By the way, did you see he's coming with the Touchdown Club?
I did not.
Yeah, they announced the Touchdown Club speakers today. And
I saw that. I didn't notice Feinbaum. I was taken aback by a couple of them. I was like, ooh.
Did you see Gruden?
No comment.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny because someone's going to ask, so were you ever coming to Arkansas? Is that why you wore that red tie?
He was like that guy that every college program thought that was coming to college.
Yeah.
That we're the program to lure him to college. I think Notre Dame, Tennessee, Arkansas, all of them thought it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everybody did. Yeah.
He wasn't.
Anyway, enough of that. So, if you want a t-shirt, if you'd like to get a t-shirt, holler at us. Either message us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on anywhere you can message us. And then
you said we have a listener in Russia, didn't you?
We got a listener in Russia. We're up to 11 in the UK.
I'm big in England.
Well, the Queen of England likes to hear her Razorback news.
Yeah.
And so we'd like to have a little tea party in England. It's the garden.
I want to ship I want to ship a t-shirt overseas.
That's right.
So
we need somebody.
Whoever's in Russia, if you're listening to this, you message us. Your t-shirt's on me.
That's right. We're paying the shipping for one overseas shirt.
One overseas
shirt. Let's not get.
Matter of fact, I will go this far. I will give away one overseas shirt. The first person from overseas to message me or Travis or comment on YouTube gets a free shirt.
And say, "Hey, I'll listen from," and you tell us where. And if it's overseas, it's not in the United States of America.
Or Canada or Mexico. I'm not counting any of that.
Nothing in North America. Overseas.
From over there.
It'll be overseas somewhere. We will send you a free shirt and we'll pay the shipping and we'll throw in some stickers and I might even have some keychains by then. I ordered it.
Yeah.
Supposed to
and
be
Gabe, Rodgers is not overseas, so don't ask. Gabe, you're my stalker and you're a super fan. And anyway, I'm gonna cut you down on your shirt, full price plus tax.
That's right. But no, y'all, seriously, thank y'all for supporting, for listening, for watching, however you do it. Keep sharing, liking, telling people about this podcast, please. We're still trying to, we're every week we're reaching out, trying to get some more interviews, some different interviews. We're getting ideas for different people to talk to. And we want to keep coming at you with just, man, we're two best friends talking sports, laid back, having fun, wearing a goofy shirt, and a classy Yankees hat. Hey, this is the Big C, Bigger T podcast. And hopefully this week, like every week, you've been entertained. Peace.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change.